Just like any other person who has music as a hobby, I have listened to tons upon tons of albums. For me, it just started a year ago where I wanted to stop doing what I was doing at the time, which was just skimming through every single artist and album and only listening to the popular songs, which, in my opinion, is a terrible way to enjoy music. So I started listening to albums. I think the first one I ever listened to in full was The Color and the Shape and the Color, that one Foo Fighters album that has that one song everyone likes. And after listening to more and more albums over time, you know what I noticed? Man, it feels like some of these albums are different from the others. It feels like they have a common theme or an overall concept piecing the songs together. I love concept albums, and I'm sure that if you're into music, you love them too. Having a central theme all of the songs revolve around isn't necessary for a good album, but it sure as hell makes for a welcome addition. So let's repair the car, fasten our seatbelts, and get ready to listen to me talk about my 3 favorite concept albums of all time whilst riding through the desert. Wait. Now, I might be a bit biased talking about this album. I have 2 posters in my room, and one is a Queens of the Stone Age poster I made and printed myself. So basically, I'm a huge Queens of the Stone Age fan. And like many other people, my introduction to the band was their most popular album, Songs for the Deaf. Not to be confused with the song in the album, Song for the Deaf, or Song for the Dead. Like all concept albums, this one has a central theme surrounding the songs. We'll see more examples of different ways bands have implemented concepts into their albums, but this one is a drive through the desert. Look at the video of Go With The Flow, which, in my opinion, is one of the most visually pleasing music videos ever. It's a drive through the desert ending with a sperm explosion. Yeah, Queens of the Stone Age is many things, but being horny is definitely one of them. The first song of the album, You Think I Ain't Worth a Dollar But I Feel Like a Millionaire, starts with the sound of someone getting in a car, starting it, and then flicking through the radio stations until they reach a station called Clone in Los Angeles. This scene perfectly encapsulates the entire album, and it fits in very well with the band's theme. Queens of the Stone Age is sometimes called a desert rock band, and you might even hear the Palm Desert Scene word being thrown around to describe them, since they are a band from that region that incorporates hard rock and alt rock elements. So it most definitely fits when the album is about a drive through California, and you can actually plot that route for a road trip, but I'll get to that later. The album starts in Los Angeles with the radio station Clone. Then in the song The Sky Is Falling, the radio station changes to KRDL Curdle in Chino Hills. Don't worry if you don't know where that is, because for me, as a European, California kind of looks like this. But apparently Chino Hills is a city located a bit outside of Los Angeles. The radio changes one last time in the second to last track, Song for the Deaf, and here we learn that we are finally in Wonder Valley. So, if we sketch it out, the road trip taken in this album is on this path. Now, that was a very fun and exciting rock journey, but how about a sad, sad journey through one's dying dreams? Okay, call me a teenager if you want, hell, call me an emo if you really want to, but I really like My Chemical Romance. Something about the raw sound of their first album, you call it bad mixing, I call it raw sound, the amazing second album, and their tragic third album speaks to me. One thing special about My Chemical Romance is that there were so many albums to choose from when I was making this video, since nearly all of them have a story tying most songs together. I Brought You Bullets, You Brought Me Your Love is about the demolition couple, 2 lovers burning, shooting and blowing up their way through the world. 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge, the story is literally on the CD case. The story of a man, a woman and the corpses of 1,000 evil men. Okay, so what does this mean? Well, the couple died in the last song of Bullets, titled Demolition Lovers, and their second album is about the guy being brought back to kill 1,000 evil men. The Black Parade, their most popular album and the one I want to talk about today because damn does it deserve to be popular. It has songs like Teenagers, Mama, and of course, When I Was a Young Boy. But the story behind these songs is very different from how energetic most of them feel. It's a story of a dying boy trying to come to terms with how toxic he lived his life and the fact that his life is about to come to an end, alongside the story of a lost soul trying to guide him into the afterlife. In songs like Cancer, we hear about how tired the patient boy is from his sickness. Sleep is about the patient slowly coming to the realization that he didn't live a good life and that he is aware that he is dying, saying things like, "How could you cry for me?" to the people around him, and the song literally ends with the soul guiding him, screaming, "Wake up" at the patient over and over again. If you want to know more about this album, I highly suggest checking out Wendigoon's old video on this topic because I don't have 40 minutes to go through one album, he does. The final album I want to talk about is one I really haven't seen people discuss in the aspect that it's a very loose kind of concept album. Okay, you could say this is a rock opera, and I think that would also be correct since rock operas are a type of concept album. This rock opera comes from our bisexual king, David Bowie. And damn am I really talking about the most popular albums of nearly every single artist on this list. I think I am. The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, that is the third long name in this video by the way, is about the world ending. The first song is the perfect blend of tragic and the energetic and funnily enough opera-like pop rock of David Bowie. 5 Years is about people receiving the news that the world is going to end in 5 years, and the rest of the album mostly revolves around this theme. Of course, there are frankly absurd sides to the album. In one of the best songs on the album, in my opinion, Moon Age Daydream, we are introduced to Ziggy Stardust, an androgynous alien rock star coming down to Earth. Yes, Starman, if you don't know, is about them. This is one thing I really liked about David Bowie. He was very progressive for his time, especially when you consider that this album about the world ending, bisexuality and androgynous themes, and a queer alien rock star came out in 1972. I would say, wow, what a time to be alive. But honestly, even my mother wasn't born at that point, so... The story goes on from this point and it gets more complex, adding more and more depth to Ziggy Stardust and the Earth's citizens who know they are going to die in 5 years. We see Ziggy battling his rock star ego and eventually failing to combat it, leading to his band breaking up in the song Ziggy Stardust. One way I would personally describe this album is alien but also very human. Yes, there is a giant absurd event like aliens coming down to Earth and the Earth being destroyed, but the themes being examined are all very human. Terror, love, sexuality, ego, they are all human things. I am talking about this like I'm not human, like oh you guys, your human things. And maybe I'm not. How could you know? Can you think of a person who would return to making videos after over a year just to talk about their favorite concept albums? I should probably talk about that. Yeah, I haven't been uploading for a long time and it was because I was busy with school that I ended up changing countries. I'm in Italy now. And then university here was chaotic, so there really wasn't any time to make videos. I can't play games now because I don't have a computer to run many games. And I've also lost interest in them. Don't get me wrong, I still very much love video games. They are an interesting form of media that I want to make content on, but I just can't, so I wanted to talk about music. That's about it. Thanks for watching.